here. Love it. Oh, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Man, this week going by pretty fast. It's good though. Every day of basketball so far has been good. Weekend's almost here. Getting us ever so close to the baseball season. Gonna have a fun month of baseball and basketball. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be a lot of juggling. And then of course today we also have a Top Shot pack drop, man. It should be hopefully a good day, man. I hope you guys had a really good morning and a really good night last night. We check out some of the fantasy scores. James Harden, no surprise, no Kyrie. Led the entire Slate in fantasy points, 40-point triple-double with 15 assists. Luka, number 2. One of those spots where it was fun to be contrarian on Luka, but he still scored less than James Harden, so what are you going to do? However, if you went Luka over Westbrook, that 12 points probably played. So that was good. Domantas Sabonis ended up being a little bit lower owned. I guess it's because of Giannis. A lot of people had Giannis there. But he made a lot of sense in retrospect and pre-flop. I had a little chunk of him. I was over the field, but afterwards, kind of like, man, bigs against the Nets, right? High minute bigs at that. Sabonis played 40 minutes in that game with a triple-double of his own, the duel against Harden. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo, bless his heart, he had, single-digit fantasy points at half? Like, it was an all-time low half of basketball from a fantasy perspective on him. And then the NBA DFS powers that be was like, let's give him some overtime. So he had a really strong second half, got extra innings, and they ended up actually winning that game. Saddiq Bey was one of several Pistons that ended up being solid plays. But Bey does this, right? He'll give you 50 or he'll give you 15. There's some volatility in his game log. Maybe we see more of this coming forward as the Pistons start looking a little bit different without Svi Mikhailiuk and moving on from the Blake era. Maybe, just maybe, Saddiq will get us a little bit more consistency. Ben Simmons with a 50 bomb. Overtime there. Draymond Green with a triple-double of his own. We saw Steph Curry get injured in that game. Curry did not practice today with the tailbone, so keep an eye on that going forward. Levine with a 50. Norman Powell, everyone back. He had 43 real points and 0 assists. 0 assists. He was not a fan of passing the basketball, but he was a fan of shooting it. So those are fun games to watch. The Sacramento-Washington game was a fun shootout. Robert Williams, 48 fantasy points. Daniel Tice was pretty trendy, but Robert Williams saw 27 minutes, and he just went bananas. 4 blocks, 2 steals. He is looking like another coming of Boban Marjanovic from a fantasy perspective. Jaylen Brown with 47. There was a fun PrizePicks promotion on him. If he scored more than 7 points, they were going to increase the payout on that, and then he actually hit his over on his projection as well. So if you guys had some Jaylen Brown PrizePicks cards, check that out. That was cool of PrizePicks to do that. It was kind of a St. Patrick's Day promotion, and they do a lot of that going forward. So if you guys haven't tried PrizePicks yet, make sure to try them out. And if you use code GUNDACKER, you do get that instant deposit bonus up to $100. That was it. There was really not a ton of surprises at the end of the night, other than maybe like Saddiq Bey. For the most part, it is what it is. The slate was what it was. Made some money, and that's all you can ask for, right? How did you guys do? What's up, chat? How we doing? Shout out to Crispy. I gotta fix my monitors, man. I got the PlayStation monitor all up in the front. What's up, Gunn? Who is starting at point guard for New York? Right now, I have Frank Ntilikina. But I would assume it'd be more of like Julius Randle and potentially RJ Barrett doing the facilitating. Like Dame Dollar, yes sir. Damian Lillard against the Pelicans, man. Back-to-back 70 bombs. What's up, Dez? What up, Hustle? Damian Carnahan Been busy, ready to crush tonight. Welcome back. ACP, what up, ACP? The inconsistency of these players, it happens. What's up, Darren? How we doing, boys? Hope you guys are doing all right. Anybody waiting for this Top Shot pack drop? It got moved to 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. So we got about an hour of time to chop this 6-gamer up without interruption. We go check out that Fantasy Labs 3 p.m. tweet. Key news to watch: Clint Capela questionable, Aaron Gordon questionable, Evan Fournier questionable, Terrence Ross questionable. So the face of that game could be very, very different depending on those 4 guys. Lou Dort questionable, Theo Maledon questionable, LeBron James probable, and then Alex Caruso, who was out with a concussion, has been upgraded to available. We might keep that in mind to taper our Talen Horton-Tucker interest, right? Who's the starting point guard for Orlando? I would assume it's Michael Carter-Williams. What's up, Mimics? How are we doing, buddy? What's up? What's going on with D Rose? I'm not sure. That Giannis slow burn to 50 it wasn't fun to track, but it was also like in the grand scheme of salary, like because Sabonis was just a better play. Like you didn't really see a lot of Giannis tournament winners, but like the fact that he had what he had at half to finish with 50 was just a little bit of a bailout, but it didn't really bail us out because he ended up not being like a top play fantasy or salary wise, especially when Westbrook, Harden, Luka, did their things at the 11K-ish, right? Going any Yankee games this year, Gun? I live in Texas, and Texas is open. So maybe I'll meditate on it, but I'm trying to be responsible in terms of going to mass gatherings of people. But yeah, we're keeping an eye on the situation. So if the vaccine kind of slows stuff down, maybe. But if not, I'm just fine watching it from the living room with my girl wrapped under my arm and a bang in my hand. Alec Burks over Frank Ntilikina, maybe. I definitely am. I'm not the type to play Frank Ntilikina just because he seems like he's more defensive than offensive. But chipping a chair at that point. Oh, is MCW out? Who did I write down, or did that just come out? Did MCW get ruled out while I was blabbering, or what? Alec Burks over. Let me refresh Fantasy Labs. Depending on who's available, we've seen Aaron Gordon run some point. No MCW. Who's starting point guard for Orlando with no MCW? Solo, did I miss MCW being out? I don't see anything saying he's not there. Dante in the house, yeah. She just opened the door and scooped him up. Shout out to Dante. The way DFS says Ntilikina will go and get a 70 tonight, you just never know. If that guy asks for another 3K players, you got Frank for the answer. Hey, we did talk about Frank Jackson yesterday. I didn't expect him to start, but we did talk about him. Rod said he'll be here now. So we'll get Raj on the stream here in just a minute. I'm still a little bit confused, Solo, on the MCW thing. So during the stream today, I won't be able to access FanDuel. I woke up and went to log in to get the pricing CSV, and it said my account got suspended, and I was like, "What? What did I do?" I'm just like, and then you start feeling guilty, and you didn't do nothing. So I reached out to them. I guess I'm guessing my current address not being the same address that they had on file with the license is the discrepancy. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of for next stream, and I'll be able to navigate on air. In my head, I was like, was it because we made up a lineup on the stream yesterday? Like, why did I get suspended? But it looks like we're good, right? Go to FanDuel. I can't go to FanDuel Solo. But what does FanDuel say he's out? Is there a blurb on FanDuel that says MCW isn't playing? Because I don't see that from Labs, and I don't see that anywhere else. Yeah. Let me sit in the stream deck here. I don't know. Raj said to give him 10. Anyway, Um, the games tonight. There's a couple fun ones. There's a couple of spreads, really a lot of spreads that are kind of wide to make this very, very volatile. We got 11-point spread in the Utah Wizards game, 7 points for the Hawks game. The Magic and Knicks is a 5, but the total is 206. This is two of the slowest paced teams in the league. Then we go back to a 10-point spread in the Phoenix game. Portland's just a 1-point game. That'll probably be the source of a lot of chalk, and then the Lakers 7.5. So basketball could get pretty lopsided tonight, and then some of the games that are close could be slow pace, slow scoring. I think all eyes will definitely be on the Pelicans and Portland Trailblazers, and that's why Dame is the cover boy. So no pushback from that approach here, right? It says he's out. FanDuel says he's ruled out due to illness. That's interesting. If he's out, I would assume maybe like a Fournier, Terrence Ross. Like I said, even Aaron Gordon's run some point. But all those guys are questionable as well. But that's interesting that FanDuel says that. I haven't been able to replicate that, but like I believe it. I think FanDuel pulls like a news feed from RotoWire. So I'm going to Twitter search this news if do they have Chasson? Is it Chasson Randall? I'm gonna search MCW on Twitter, and maybe we can corroborate this story from illness listed out. Okay, so other sites are listing them out. Maybe I just straight up missed it. Yeah, I guess somehow I missed it, but I didn't say labs listed. So maybe they slipped through the track, right? Chess and Randall. All right, we'll look for Randall to start. I'm not gonna be too keen on him just yet until we have information on Fournier and Ross and guys like that in or out, and then we'd probably make a decision. So interesting to know. Let's see if they reported it earlier, because I feel like I missed that if they did. Quickly, Peyton, Pascal. Yeah, I guess Labs just straight up missed that. It's good to have multiple news sources. Good catch, chat. Good catch. What's up, Ankur? All right, bring Raj in here.
Yo.
You're always late.
A little bit late. Just finished the last bit of work, and we're good to go.
Appreciate your help on yesterday's massive slate.
Hey, once I pick one of these 100Ks, I could probably make sure I can make all of these, because then I can take a lighter out work, you know. So, just waiting on one of the 100Ks, and we'll be good to go.
I need better heads up, because I want to collab with others, but I can't give them 15 minutes notice.
I got you. I'll try to let you know by noon during the day.
I mean, it's still, but yeah. Anyway, number Firehead, the MCW. All right, so it looks like MCW is sick and won't play, but I guess that slipped through the cracks for Labs, so we'll keep an eye on that, right? Let's get cranked up here, chat. Game number 1, Washington Wizards hosting the Utah Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert taking on Russell Westbrook. Bradley Beal, Garrison Matthews, Rui Hachimura, and Alex Len. We got 238 total with an 11-point spread in favor of the Utah Jazz. Mike Conley will be out, so that's immediately going to put eyes on Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, and I love me some Jordan Clarkson in fast-paced spots. The Wizards being on night 2 for back-to-back, you always kind of keep an eye on Westbrook, Beal, or maybe some of these supplementary guys not playing, but as of now, there's no news. Last time Bradley Beal sat night 2 for back-to-back, but that didn't hit till really, really late. 11-point spread here. Lots to love on this Utah side, but 4,400 Joe Ingles on FanDuel looks like one of those set it and forget it spots for me. Every single Utah Jazz player in the starting 5 has a case. Even Royce O'Neal, as uncomfortable as that is. And then, like I said, I love Jordan Clarkson in faster pace spots off the bench and more guard minutes to go around in the absence of Mike Conley. So no pushback on any of these Jazz players on the Wizards side. Westbrook, Beal, both very viable. Westbrook's just been a triple-double machine. And Westbrook is the most disrespected player in the league. Gosh dang it. He's just out here hustling every night. Every time I see like people poo-poo him on Twitter, just like, you don't know basketball. Cool. Rui Hachimura. Stretch of strong games on Hachimura. And if you've watched the gameplay from Hachimura, it is looking like a different guy. He's looking a little bit more aggressive. 18, 15 shot attempts in 3 straight games and 37 or more minutes in 3 straight games. One of these games was without Bertans and Beal, but the last 2 were with. So maybe they just found a reason for Hachimura. It's not going to be like the best spot in the world here, but these minutes and these shot attempts could be enough to chip in a chair 5,600 on Hachimura. But it's hard to have a high level of confidence coming off 3 straight good matchups, good minutes. This pace is going to drop. The defensive rating for the Utah Jazz is going to be the toughest spot that the Wizards have seen in a while. Not a whole lot of warm and fuzzies past like Westbrook. Even Beal feels a little shaky if he grabs the Royce O'Neal treatment. But I do think I have a tier 3 spattering of Westbrook for now. Raj, what are you doing with this one?
I mean, this is probably the game of the night with Washington, Utah, no Mike Conley.
It's definitely not the game of the night. What?
I mean, wow.
An 11-point spread on a slate that has Pelicans Blazers. Excuse me.
I mean, I think that 11-point spread is a little ridiculous.
Do you?
No. That's crazy. Why in the world would Utah blow out Washington?
Because Utah's the number 1 team in the NBA. What?
I know Washington's been playing well. Like they've been playing games, have been competitive. I trust Russell Westbrook.
This will be Westbrook's, or this will be the Wizards' 3rd game in 4 nights. They've had this will be their 4th game or their 5th game since the 12th, and they catch the Utah
look at their
Jazz.
Past 3 games. 125, 119, 133, 122, 121.
Are you comparing the worst defense in the league, Sacramento Kings, to the Utah Jazz?
Utah's been in some high-scoring games lately too. That Boston game was high-scoring. The Golden State game was really high-scoring. The Houston game was a blowout. The Philly game was high-scoring, 123, 131. I think it's going to be a 120 to 130 type of game. So I'm going to get a lot of pieces from this game.
You think the Wizards score 120?
You know what? I think the Wizards beat the Utah Jazz 130 to 120, 126.
Please let me bet that. Give me some numbers.
I mean, obviously, we're going to bet like the exact score. What are we going to bet?
No. Bet.
Like, we're not.
No. Give me. First of all, you just called them to win, right?
I called Washington to win. Yep.
So you want Wizards to win? I'll bet that, and then you want Wizards over 118 and a half.
You know what, chat? Come into the Discord to find out.
No. Give me these numbers right now.
I didn't think this over. I'm thinking this over.
What do you mean you didn't think this over? No, hold on.
I didn't think over the bet. If we're making it bet, I just think it over.
Okay.
Back to the DFS plays.
F the win. I'll give you 118 and a half. You give me that line, and I'll bet you.
118 and a half for Washington or Utah?
For Washington. You just said they're going to score 120.
Yeah, both teams. Yeah, I would say both teams. 118 and a half. I think it's going to have, is that line right, though?
No, it's not. This is your brain. I'm trying to make money off of your ridiculous takes.
What's the Vegas line at?
The total is 238. An 11-point spread in Utah Jazz. So implied total for the Wizards here is not 118, but you just said they're to score 120.
What's there? What's theirs? What's the line that they're giving?
For
Washington, implied total.
The Washington implied total.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. Let me pull it up. Washington's implied total is 113 and a half. And the Jazz is 124 and a half. You just confidently posted the Wizards to score over 120 in a win. Actually, you said 130, 120 and Washington win, so you think they score 130.
I mean,
no. Give me some money here, bro.
I'm trying to see if it's a good bet, though.
It's a terrible bet, but it's also a terrible statement, and I'm not going to let you make these dumb statements for free, dog.
I see what you're saying. Guns trying to take advantage of maybe I'm overhyped about Washington. I still think they score 1 thing. I still know if I'm confident to make a bet on it.
Well, then what? I know.
I mean, I'm not betting on this game. I'm playing DFS. But okay, give me Point Mitchell, clear play. He's going to be chalked. We play him 8-7 on DK, 50 bomb waiting to happen. Joe Ingles. I wish Joe Ingles was a little cheaper, but at 5-2 on DK, I still think he's in play. Should see 30 minutes here in the starting lineup. I think he's fine. Can get there to value. Jordan Clarkson, like you said, pace up spot, 6-1. He has all the bench uses now with Joe Ingles in the starting lineup, so I think he gets a little bit of a bump there. I think Bogdanovich, I think he's a guy who may go a little overlooked out of these guys. He could easily lead his team in shots. He's a guy that can chuck 15 to 20 shots a game, especially in this slot. I wouldn't be shocked if he drops one of those 50 bombs. And then you got Rudy Gobert, centers against Washington. Even though Rashad Holmes didn't quite come through, he just kind of got there late. Rudy Gobert, it's going to be a big spot for him. He could pick up last 3 games, 6-4, 4 blocks against Washington. I mean, it's easy to be a 5-6 block game for Rudy Gobert. So give me Rudy Gobert too. Washington, give me Westbrook, give me Beal. How do you not like this game?
I mean, I like the Utah Jazz individually, but the Wizards are in a pretty tough spot. They played a lot of basketball in the last week. And it's 3rd and 4, so this is their 5th, 6th game in a week. This is a lot of basketball, a lot of potential fatigue, and they're going against best team in basketball. So I don't know. I don't think. And I also I feel like some secret squirrel stuff might happen here with the Wizards on a back-to-back. You might see a Westbrook or a Beal get late scratch or something like that. So I do like the Jazz.
That, but both those guys have played back-to-backs, right?
Yeah, they have. Beal didn't play the last one, but I think that was more injury related than not. I like plays individually on the Jazz side, and the Jazz have played deep minutes even in some lopsided games, so I'm not too concerned about that. But to be in love with this game outside of Russell Westbrook, you can't be in love. With
Utah for great defense has in some close games against good teams. They've been high scoring.
Against
New Orleans,
but past Russell Westbrook, you're not gonna have a high level of confidence on Beal, and you just look at Donovan Mitchell for a little cheaper. SGA catches the Atlanta Hawks. Beal's not gonna be your favorite play, and you're definitely not gonna spray a lot of action on Matthews, Hachimura, Len. You can't love this game. You can love the Jazz, but it's Westbrook and the gang, and you're betting on the gang.
Yeah, I mean, I'm betting on if Westbrook gets 30, Beal gets 38 to 40. I'm betting on the gang getting you 55 to 60 points.
Right, but realistically, how much Beal could you possibly get to here?
Beal shooting guard position. I mean, okay, Mitchell's there. I mean, after Mitchell, I feel like Beal's my second favorite points per dollar shooting guard. I might even like Beal over Mitchell. Beal is 9-1 on DraftKings. Mitchell's 8-7. I think Beal's a great pivot off Mitchell if you want to do that.
I think SCA is pretty doggone strong. I don't know what the Magic are going to end up doing. Anthony Edwards is iffy against that matchup.
Booker's there again. That game, I think, Booker against Mitchell, that game should blow out. That's the 11, 15-point spread.
But just 9K in general on DraftKings, there's way too much competition, and Beal's not going to be consistent.
I think Beal over SGA easy. I'll take that bet.
Beal over SGA.
We'll do both bets. Yes, we'll do both bets. I'll take Washington over. They score over 118 points, and then I'll take Beal over SGA. If you're so strong on that,
so you'll get. Is this a parlay or is this separate bets?
Separate bets, but they're separate bets.
I want that action for 118.
Yeah, so you'll get that action if you take SGA against Beal. That's
you take a dumb bet with a dumb bet.
Yeah.
For SGA over. So SGA just more DraftKings points than Beal is the.
Yeah, I think Beal is more DraftKings points.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but.
Okay, so if you're strong on it, roll with it.
I might. Chat,
Come to the Discord, chat. Come to the Discord. We're find out what happened.
It's gonna be a This is Wizards. Yeah, chat's just ripping you apart right now. He tried to come in hot, and we just had to shut that down.
It's gonna be so great when I see them hit that 120 mark for watch time. Be like, what up?
Jeremy says Westbrook was supposed to be out until Neto became questionable. Was he? I feel like Westbrook's played a couple back-to-backs. I didn't see that.
He played the last one, 12 and 13.
He's played a
more
couple now.
Yeah. And he dropped an 80 bomb in his last back-to-back.
Jeremy, do you have a source on that? I haven't seen that. I'm not saying I don't believe it, but he has played some back-to-backs. But like I said, this has been a tough stretch, so I could see them resting one of them, but I don't remember seeing that this morning. Hachimura's only 5K. How does he not get the 6X tonight? So Hachimura's stretch of good games have come in fast-paced spot against the Bucks. One of those games without Beal, Davis Bertans. And then the last game was against the worst defense in the league. And the common denominator on all three of those games is he played, 37-plus minutes. So there's a lot of trust issues I have there. I don't think it's a positive matchup for me to just slap 30-plus fantasy points on him. But watching the game, he has played a little bit more aggressively, so I'm a little bit interested. They had Westbrook out and then changed it. All right, Chris, appreciate that. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that then. If you thought if it came out Westbrook was out and Bradley Beal was in,
if Westbrook was out,
then that voids our Beal versus.
Yeah, it would void. Yeah, void the total too. I'd assume. I'm sure everything would be adjusted. Yeah, if it's a late scratch, these things get voided.
Okay. They had Westbrook out and then changed it. Roto World. Okay. We'll keep an eye on it then. That's very good. Appreciate that chat. All right, let's move on to the next game here. OKC up against the Atlanta Hawks. Project starting five for the Thunder. Theo Maledon, SGA, Lou Dort, Isaiah Roby, and Al Horford. Up against Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, Tony Snell, John Collins, Clint Capela, 224.5 is our total. 7-point spread in favor of the Atlanta Hawks. Clint Capela questionable. He's missed a couple of games, which has elevated John Collins and Danilo Gallinari into high floor, high ceiling starters. On the OKC side, Maledon's questionable, Lou Dort's questionable. So I think it's only fair if I pull up the injury news and notes for both teams here and kind of get to the nitty-gritty and get the actual injury or the actual blurbs from beat writers. So Maledon is questionable with a sprained left thumb. He has been a bit banged up recently. He missed the game over the weekend due to a sprained ankle. This time around, it's a thumb on his non-shooting hand. That's the issue. If he's unable to play, Ty Jerome would likely see an increase in minutes coming off the bench. Ty Jerome was in my top lineup 2 nights ago. That was flirting with a takedown. So I'd go back to him. We only got like 22 that night, but it was really, really cheap. Lou Dort, sprained left big toe, is listed as questionable. He has missed OKC's last 2 games due to the toe injury, but the door remains open for him to play Thursday. If he can go, that would most impact Justin Jackson with regard to fantasy value, blah, 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 blah. They traded away... we know they traded Ham Diallo. They also traded Trevor Ariza. He wasn't part of the rotation. Myers Leonard looks like he's not going to be part of the rotation. Al Horford, I think he's expected to be back for this one. He's missed a couple games, and that's created massive chalk on Moses Brown. But it looks like that's not going to be an issue today. So what we're watching is Maledon and Lou Dort. If one or both of those guys are out, it's even more love in my mind for SGA. And then if Lou Dort's out, he's probably going to be their top defender tasked with maybe looking at some Trae Young coverage. So keep an eye on that. And like I said, on the Hawks side, Clint Capela, questionable. If we pull up the injury report on him, he is dealing with a left heel soreness. It's a non-update based on this report. Capela has missed 2 straight games, but the questionable tag suggests that he remains day-to-day. So a lot of if this, then that to be dissolved here. First and foremost, I think SGA's price discrepancy on FanDuel to DraftKings makes him a little bit more viable on FanDuel in a little bit more shallow position. 7,900, I'm looking for a north side of 40 fantasy points going against the Atlanta Hawks, which is a bottom 5 team defense, and that team defense takes a step backwards without Clint Capela, one of their better interior defenders and rim protectors. So I do like some SGA here. I'd be curious on looking for maybe Maladon as a long shot tournament play, but I couldn't see him being more than a risky value play for me, a punt, right? Looking at maybe Isaiah Roby or any of those fill-in guys seems like they're going to be a little bit priced up, like Horford wasn't there, right? Like $5K for Roby is interesting with Baisley out, but it's still not like warm and fuzzies. Alexis Pokusevski has been starting at the small forward spot. I still got near 30 minutes on him, and he might just straight up start at the 4 here instead of Roby, but I pulled this from RotoWire, so that is subject to change. Outside of SGA, any of these Thunder, like, based on what we have here, like if Maladon and Lu Dort did play outside of SGA, any of these Thunder get it for you? And are we sleeping on an Al Horford back in Atlanta game at a decent price point where 30 fantasy points would be okay?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to that center position today, I think we got some studs in good spots, so it might just be a raw points thing. But I mean, it's fine. I'm not running to play. I think he's going to play 25 minutes. Moses Brown was playing well. Even before Al Horford was playing 27, 28. So with Moses Brown playing a little better, maybe Horford only sees 25. So I'm a little worried about his minutes there. And even SGA, I mean, at his price, I know it's the Atlanta Hawks. I just prefer other guys in that point guard, shooting guard position. And that 9K price tag, you need the 50. He does have a floor. We saw it last game. So I'm not running to play, but I think he's like a tier 3.
No, I like him on FanDuel a lot. Yeah, but yeah, I'm with you on the.
Gotcha. And on the Atlanta side, I mean, if Capela sits, I go right back to John Collins and Gallinari. I got to play those two together. Like, they both go off when there's no Capela. But, I mean, if Capela plays, I might just be looking at a fade of this game almost. I mean, Capela at 76 is interesting too, but I don't know if I'd run to play.
I think the Hawks defense is too bad to not. The Horford's one of those stretch 5 archetypes that can eat on Capela, and because if they lined it up to where Pokusevski was at the 5, they might switch. Like you might see Horford versus Collins and Pokusevski against Capela, since Pokusevski is 7 foot. But I still think Horford back in Atlanta, there's a little bit of rhyme and reason there for me to kind of put 30 on it, especially without. Baisley. Chat's asking about Svi Mikhailiuk. Is he going to get some run today? I think that's an incredible question. And short answer is I don't know. I'm on my second screen here looking for maybe some indications that he would. It seems like he should pretty soon. I don't know if it'll be today, but it definitely seems like there's nothing stopping him now. He's got a couple practices in. He's fully processed and all that. So I don't see anything. He was a DNP in that Bulls game, but it's not injury related. So, man, I would assume it's coming. I haven't seen any indication that it is or isn't further away though. To encore those to Dortz and Anna. Yeah, Lu Dortz definitely a great defender, and that might put some pushback on a Trae Young. And I think at Trae Young's price point, there's pivots on other sides, but I also believe Trae Young's game can be more assist intense and not necessarily scoring dependent to where he wouldn't be able to get to a 50. But I do have Donovan Mitchell over him. If I can get to Damian Lillard over him, I definitely want that. And you can even make a case that Lonzo Ball is just in a great spot. So guys like Trae Young, SGA can fall through the cracks to me at the near 9K price point and near 10K for Trae. But SGA on FanDuel, why can't I quit you? It almost ruined me the other night, but I survived. But I'm going right back to the well, man. This Hawks defense is pretty rough. Mundo's World says, no Capela to me means Nathan Knight value. So we did have a light discussion about Nathan Knight prior to the Rockets game. We'll go back and look at game number 2. So he curtain called a 10 free throw attempt game against the Cavs with an average PPM game, a little bit more, looks like a usual game. I would also be inclined to check out the minutes on that one. That game stayed pretty close for a while. Let's see where the bulk of his minutes came from. Nathan Knight, he got some decent run in the first, didn't close out. So Yeah, chipping a chair for 20 fantasy points. I think that's fine. Not running to or away from it though. 1 rebound, 1 assist for SGA was like, yeah, that was tough. What's up, Dez? Daniel Tice should not be in the NBA playing like that against Cleveland. Dude, I was talking about Tice in the Discord, man. It's just like when the spots where you feel like he can't miss, all right, with TT down again. Like I knew there was a range of outcomes that his minutes would be suspect. But yeah, definitely had higher hopes yesterday. But I did have some Robert Williams, so I'm not too salty. I had to hedge that hunch. So we're keeping an eye on the Capela news. If Maladon and Dort are out, I would probably be able to raise Roby's minute projection, and we might see Pokusevski play some start at the 3 again. And then Ty Jerome, I'm okay with taking some punt shares of. He's a shooting guard on FanDuel, or at least he was the other night. I can't access FanDuel right now. And then if Svi Mikalik was indicated to be part of the rotation, he's min-price on, or he's 500 above min on DraftKings.
So you're playing only DK today?
Unless they fix my stuff. It seems like an easy fix. It seems like a discrepancy from my listed address for the 1099 and my driver's license since I moved in December. So hopefully it's a fix. I tried to fix it before I went live, but apparently, like, you take a picture of your ID. Apparently, it kept getting like a glare or something. Like it wasn't that noticeable, but I had to go live, so I didn't have time to fix it. So if I can't play tonight, oh well. I'll just put some action on Yahoo and play extra on DraftKings or something. Let's move on to the next game. Magic at the Knicks. Project starting 5 for the Magic. I don't know. I've been told MCW is out. He is out. Did Labs get into that one? Yeah. All right. So, I don't know. We type in Chasing Randall for now. Chasing Randall, Evan Fournier, Dwayne Bacon, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic. We have... So MCW ruled out with an illness. We have Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon, and Terrence Ross questionable. They'll be up against Frank Ntilikina, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel. A 206.5 total, a 5-point spread in favor of the New York Knicks. So a lot of, I don't know what's in the water for guards in this game, but it's getting tough. So the Magic will be without Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, MCW. Evan Fournier's been missing a lot of games. He's dealing with a groin injury. He did participate in Orlando's scrimmage work and practice on Tuesday, which is still leaving him questionable. If he was able to get some work in on Tuesday and the game's not until Thursday, we're guessing he'll be ready to get back on the court. That's a blurb from Roto World. Terrence Ross questionable with a sore right knee. He has scored 59 points in his last 2 games on 36 shots. So if Fournier's unable to go, he'll definitely be sorely needed if he can play. Aaron Gordon is questionable with a sprained left ankle. He has missed each of the Magic's last 2 games after making his return from a lengthy absence on March 11th against the Heat. Thursday's game is the first of a back-to-back for Orlando. So if Gordon's cleared to play, he'll likely be held out of Friday's game, so keep an eye on that. So we could have as much as Randall, Fournier, Terrence Ross, and as little as Randall, Dwayne Bacon, Chuma Okeke. So definitely worth monitoring. With or without those guys, Vucevic projects to be the highest usage guy. But, of course, that usage and minutes and responsibility will go even higher should we start losing either of the Fournier, Ross, or Aaron Gordon. On the Knicks side, Elfrid Payton's out. Emmanuel Quickley out. Derrick Rose out. That's leaving them with Frank Ntilikina, Eric, and Alec Burks as the potential facilitating options or point guard options. I think for ball facilitation, words, English is hard today. Julius Randle will play a lot of point. RJ Barrett will play all the minutes he can handle. I think RJ Barrett is going to be probably one of the most popular plays on both sites. I just think he's too cheap for the minutes projected here, close to 40 minutes in the Thibodeau rotation with all these guards out, and it's easy to assume that he would have potential extra duties without pure are without offensive-minded guards, like a Quickly, a Rose, and even Payton to an extent. So I'm with that. I don't have any pushback on that. The only thing that you would have to really balance in our assessment of this game is that this game should not be fun to watch from a real-life perspective. If we look at the team metrics chart and the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, the Knicks run the slowest pace in basketball, and Orlando is a little bit below league average. And then when it comes to defensive efficiency, the Knicks have a top 5, top 6 defensive rating. Orlando's, theirs is whatever because they haven't been healthy. But long story short, this should be one of the slowest paced, lowest scoring games. So, like, that makes me not love a 10K Vucevic, even though, the heart wants what the heart wants. He can still get to 50, 60, but you just kind of feel like the 10K salary dollars, I kind of want to dump that into like a Damian Lillard. But on the Knicks side, man, is RJ Barrett a tier 1 no matter what? And then what do you do with 10K Julius Randle? I don't know if he's ever been 10K because he's essentially he's $100 difference between Vucevic. And I feel like the minutes and the usage here go to Randle.
Yep, I would assume so. I think Randle and Vooch are great kind of tournament plays. Like if people are going to play 2 studs on a lineup, I think it will be like Lillard and LeBron against Charlotte. So I think these two, again, with the guys out. So on Orlando, there's no point guard. It's going to be the Ross and Vooch show if Fournier sits. But if he gives you the same score as last time, 64 bomb, you'll take that. That's against Miami. So, against New York, a bit of an easier matchup. A 60 bomb not out of the question for him, and a 60 bomb for Randle. With no Quickly, no Derrick Rose, no Alfred Payton. Nicolina is not going to really take any shots.
I think, I don't want to play Ntilikina at all. But the more I'm thinking about minutes, like, he's bare bones min price on both sites. And I'm sitting him at 29. And I'm just wondering, does he wheel his way there? I don't know if I want to give up a point guard spot on FanDuel, but maybe one of the guard spots for value on DK.
I will say, I do think like RJ Barrett and Alec Burks will play a lot of point guard duty for the Knicks, maybe even some.
And Julius Randle, Randle probably leads the team in assists.
Yeah, so I think the thing with playing with Frank is you play him, you can get in 2 10K studs, you can get in the Lillard with the Vooch or Randall, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think you only play him if you want to fit in an extra stud. I'm not running to play him by any means. Well, RJ Barrett, Alec Burks, I really like Alec Burks. This is a spot where he could have a big game at his price. RJ Barrett, point guard duty, is going to fill the stat sheet at a good price too at 6'4" on DK. I'll take that. Randall at 10K again. He needs a 50 at this slate to win something. He probably needs a 60 plus. So he needs that triple double 67 type of game he did against OKC. I think it's viable. So I think you want those 3 from the Knicks for sure. And Orlando, if Fournier sits, I think Terrence Ross not a comfortable tier 1 guy, but I think he's tier 1 viable. He's gonna probably chuck 20 shots, back to back 42, 44, another 40 plus bomb on that price for win your tournament, and give me Vooch.
Yeah, I would say as bad as Ntilikina has been from a fantasy perspective, like defensively he's a scrapper, and the same with RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett since the break has put together some decent defensive numbers, and the team as a whole is a solid defense. So like I'm not expecting a much here. I think we do want to feel like a Magic player is viable. Aaron Gordon, if he did play, we might still have him on a minute restriction. So the Fournier versus Ross sweepstakes gets interesting, and then you might even start speculating like Chase and Randall. How deep does he play? Do they have some sets where like Fournier and or Ross can run point and Randall, is off the there's several different ways the Magic can go. It's a tough spot to be in, but 10K Randall I think is like the strongest decision. Because has he ever been 10K on DraftKings, like, ever?
Yeah, he's been 10K before DraftKings this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have missed out on that then. But, yeah, he's been getting it done. And if you have 10K in a util spot or 10-1 in a util spot, is it snap call Randall over Vooch? I think yes.
I think it's a coin flip. Vooch has been giving you look at his game log, about 64.
Yeah,
40
but like
against that 51. 62.
A lot of that is like immediately correlated with all these guys being out, or at least a Fournier and Gordon, and you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, Randall just
if
seems
Fournier
like no
sits
matter what,
and Gordon sits,
yeah.
I feel like it's a Vooch triple-double spot.
James says point guard for Knicks don't matter. Who are they going to pass the ball to? It's only 2 scorers on the court. I mean, the same with the Magic, right?
I think Burks is a scorer. I think Nick's got 3 scores. Burks can be an elite scorer when he's hot.
What about Reggie Bullock though? 3,800 on him on FanDuel, 42 on DraftKings. He's also a guy that plays deep minutes, and you know when we think scorers, we're probably thinking guys aggressive, go to the rack.
Yeah,
but
don't shoot back.
Yeah, don't sleep on Reggie chucking 10 shots here. At least a decreased price point on FanDuel. 12 shot attempts against Brooklyn, against OKC, just 7 against Philly, but 20 plus fantasy points. I mean,
on DraftKings, I'd find the extra 700 for Burks.
Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, I get it if you're a cheap value guy.
Could get deep minutes though. All right, ugly game. Ugly game is ugly. Hopefully,
ugly game, but a lot of concentrated usage, which makes it a treat.
I would agree with that. Concentrated usage plus high levels of minutes on the Knicks side.
Yeah.
Like we know where the minutes. So, yeah. RJ Barrett tier 1. I would imagine RJ Barrett from where we sit now is a top 3 owned guy on the slate, right?
I don't think so. I'm just going to have a couple lines where I'm going to game stack this game. I know it's not a high total.
If we're projecting field ownership, though,
yeah,
is RJ Barrett not top 3 owned on the slate? Like, just massive amounts of chalk.
I mean, I think again, people want to target the Utah-Washington game, New Orleans, Portland, and Charlotte, LA. I don't know. Let me see, hold on. That small forward spot.
I don't see a world where RJ Barrett is like far under 40%.
So in that small forward spot, you have RJ Barrett. Okay, people are going to pay up for LeBron. Mm-hmm. Ingram's going to be owned and get that game in Portland. Gordon, Hayward. I mean, against the Lakers maybe.
No, you're stretching. Like RJ Barrett.
You think RJ Barrett's going to be more owned than Terrence Ross?
Yes. It's not even close. What?
I think if Fournier gets ruled out and Gordon.
No, it's RJ Barrett. Dude, 40 minutes of RJ Barrett without a point guard?
And 40 minutes of Terrence Ross without a point guard.
Terrence Ross he'll just chuck. Like, RJ Barrett will chuck and do other crap.
I hear you. I mean, play them together.
No, but like I don't, dude. Do you have a pulse on the field or what, man? I just can't. I can see RJ Barrett being 4 times the Ross ownership if Fournier was out. So I don't know. That's not a knock on Ross. I'm just from a game theory standpoint. I think I'm projecting RJ Barrett to be a top 3 owned player on the slate.
I mean, I could see it.
He's just too cheap for 40 minutes.
Yeah, 5,900. No, I hear you.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game. Minnesota Timberwolves at the Phoenix Suns. Project 35 for the T-Wolves. Ricky Rubio, Anthony Edwards, Jake Layman, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl Anthony Towns, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd taking on Chris Paul, Devin Booker, McCall Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton. 231.5 star total, 10.5 point spread in favor of the home team Phoenix Suns. On the T-Wolves side, lately I've just been targeting Rubio, Edwards, and Cat. Haven't really caught like the Noel stuff or anything. If I miss it, I miss it. But Rubio, Edwards, and Cat probably still my 3 guys to consider. On the Suns side, Chris Paul, south side of AK on DraftKings, south side of 7K on FanDuel. Unique price point where it's a super plus matchup, and I think a lot of people are going elsewhere. Same with Devin Booker, south side of 8K on both sites, could drop 40 plus, and then DeAndre Ayton under 7K on both sites could drop 30 to 40. With that being a loose, like a more often hitting the floor than ceiling there. But a 230 total, so there's still some implied points here. I think on the Rubio side, you know, little narratives, and get down with that. Edwards at 7K, perhaps catching a little bit of Chris Paul, McCall Bridges combo. I feel like this is the spot where I'm going to be a little less enthused to play him. I have been playing him, but I'm probably going to be a little less inclined to have him at like the tier 1, tier 2s that I have been playing him at. And then Cat at 9.7, 9.4. I don't know where I'm going to end up on Cat yet, because I feel like when I'm investing high levels of money on this slate for salary wise, I think I'm just in love with Damian
Cat's getting
Lillard.
overlooked for sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. You got any tells on this one? Because I feel like I might be tier 3 exposures to like a Paul, maybe a Booker here and there. But even Booker, I'm not like running to, but I think he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rubio at his price, coming off of a huge game against the Lakers, definitely intriguing. Has that 40-plus point upside at 5'4". I'll take it. Anthony Edwards, again, I think great tournament play. If this game does kind of stay close and Phoenix doesn't contain this team, Edwards is going to chuck 20 shots every game, 7-1 on FanDuel. I mean, past 4 games, 29, 34, 21, 27 real-life points. Some good matchups, New Orleans, Portland, Lakers.
Yeah, no,
so
he's had a stretch of positive stuff.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So this will be maybe his first kind of real test, maybe see some of that Bridges defense. So I think in tournaments he's viable, but not a guy I'm ready to play. Same with Cat, just too many of the studs on the slate. If he breaks the slate today, he's the highest scoring stud. Probably not going to win tonight's slate. Phoenix side, Chris Paul at 6,900 is just so cheap on FanDuel. Mm-hmm. I feel like if this game stays close enough, he can't hurt you at that price. For long enough. If it's a 3-quarter game, I think he gets you there, even if it's not a 4-quarter game. So I think you got to keep him in the pool if you're making a bunch of lineups. Booker, Booker is real cheap too, 7,500. This game is very easy to stack at their prices. So you get key guys at good prices.
I mean,
no one's going to be on him.
So Devin Booker and Chris Paul combined for almost 100 fantasy points.
Oh, you're good. You're golden.
I'm not saying could. I'm saying they did in their 34 minutes against Minnesota. Devin Booker dropped 58 with 43 real points, and then Chris Paul against Minnesota, he dropped 43 in 32 minutes with 11 real points. So like they combined for over 100 fantasy points previously. So interesting tournament plays here because I don't feel like you have to get too egregious. With exposures to them to feel like you're getting a good deal. I don't think like 40 is anything that like I'm running to at 7-7
no,
for Chris Paul.
Devin Booker's game.
Yeah, Devin Booker has, he could really have a day against Anthony Edwards. So maybe Devin Booker's somebody I should warm up to a little bit more. Maybe soften up my SGA.
DeAndre Ayton, he dropped 22 and 10 last game in 25 minutes. I mean, that last game was a major blowout, right?
I'd assume so. No Cat likely as well.
No Cat was that game?
I'm assuming
no
Cat missed the...
Yeah, okay. Cat missed that game, yeah. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
This game's getting more and more intriguing in tournaments at those prices.
Cat, there's a 40 here. Let's open the actual before we start.
Oh, I see. Okay. No, he dropped 21 and 10 in 33 minutes. I just want to say, what was the score of that game?
I got you. We're just like making stuff up. What are we doing here? Let me open up box scores from that game. I was on February 28th, by the way.
Okay.
So, Suns started Booker, Paul, Bridges, Ayton, Kaminsky, and Minnesota started Edwards, Cat, Rubio, Okogie, and Vanderbilt. So almost the same other than Okogie that we have here. Final score was 118-99. So a 20-point game that kind of keeps people on the court. And Booker got 34 minutes, 32 for Chris Paul. Yeah, maybe the Suns are very stackable. And Ayton had 4 fouls in 26 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe I'm buying into a little bit more exposure to. I think Devin Booker, right? I think Devin Booker's the one that I should be really. He's averaging 25 real points a game right now. You could easily exceed your average against the T-Wolves defense. Yeah, maybe Devin Booker's somebody I should.
Even Anthony Edwards, 24 real life points.
Yeah, okay.
He's consistent. He hasn't. I don't think he's let you down in his past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He past 8 games. He's literally had over 35 plus in all but one.
I need 40. I gotta have 40.
Yeah,
7K, I gotta
40.
have.
Yeah, but he hasn't killed you. He has an insanely high
Bro,
forward.
I don't think I can name 8 better matchups than his last 8 games. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I saw it too. Charlotte, New Orleans, Portland. But even in Phoenix, he got 36. Washington, Chicago,
36 is a bust. But the shot attempts are there. I'm not pushing back on the shot attempts, but yeah, he's had some soft matchups, man. Like,
he has.
All right. But Devin Booker's the guy I think I need to really do some meditating on, rise him a little bit. Cat falls through the cracks, likely.
He does. I don't see any way I'm getting the Cat, and definitely not in 3 entries. I think you probably need to run like 50 lineups to get the Cat. Even at 20, he might be a fade.
And then this surgence of Ricky Rubio, a little bit of revenge narrative on him. Just kind of a do-it-all type of point guard.
Yeah.
All right. Chat. Let's get caught up on chat. Damien says, "Why is Chris Paul 6,900?" It's a really nice price for Chris Paul. Okay, I didn't even mean to do it. It just happened. CP3 major chalk on FanDuel. I can see that 8 and 6,200. That's really cheap. Gun. I hope you stuck with that lineup with Bay in it yesterday. I had some Sadiq Bay yesterday, but we were working on a monster lineup on the stream for FanDuel. We should do that some more often. Give you some cheap Crowder, some Jay Crowder, 3,800 on FanDuel. Could be a steal at the end of the day. I don't mind that call. Saric, Crowder, Payne, all in play for the Suns. Cameron Payne, cheap, yeah. If you game script to go lopsided, I think Devin Booker, man, that might be my guy. That game is a 10 p.m. game, by the way. Half this slate is at 10 p.m. and the other half is floating between lock. So it's going to be a really late night Hammer-esque slate. Pelicans at the Blazers. Project starting 5 for the Pelicans. Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams. Going to get one board. What? Up against Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, Derek Jones Jr., Robert Covington, and they hate us because they ain't us. Cantor, 220 or 239.5 is our total. And the Blazers favored by 1. We've got a pair of monster games from Damian Lillard against the Pelicans. Making money ain't new to him. Damian Lillard, DKP by game log versus Pelicans. Let's go last 5 games. But really, I just want to pull up the last 2 games and just kind of show you guys what Dame has done. 79 and 75 fantasy points on March 16th and February 17th. On the 17th, there was not C.J. McCollum, but it doesn't matter. Damian Lillard's just going to play unlimited minutes, 28 shot attempts in the first game. In the second game, Damian Lillard took 20 shot attempts, but 18 free throws, and it was perfect. 18 for 18.
Regression has to be coming, right? You can't just average 70 points against a team, like fantasy points against a team.
I mean, when that team, okay,
that's high. It's
70, a little high, sure, but defensively, the Pelicans are what, second, third worst defense in basketball?
Yeah, no,
third.
They're bad.
And Damian Lillard's going to be a near 30% usage guy for 40 minutes. So it's not some outlandish thought that Damian Lillard's just going to destroy them. 50 bomb. Jeez, what a monster. But those free throws might be a little anomalic. 18 for 18, holy. That's
definitely a career night of free throws for sure.
But yeah, no reason to not like Dame here. Chop the slate to 6 games. Even if like 70 is whatever, but 60, we'll take 60 on a 6-gamer.
Yeah, you'll take it. I think he's great. You're gonna play him. It's just the ownership. Is he gonna be the highest owned guy on the slate?
Nah, I think RJ Barrett right now. That's my guess. If I had to guess, I just feel like the field is not giving up 6K 40-minute RJ Barrett.
Gotcha.
This is my guess. I don't know. But Damian Lillard is probably going to be the most sought after stud if we're getting to the 10K price range. Like, just out of any 10K player, like there's a case for Julius.
LeBron can challenge him.
I mean, I like LeBron, but I don't know that. Sure. I like LeBron, but I don't know that Lillard is less owned than LeBron. I don't know. I feel like LeBron hasn't been egregiously owned lately. On the Pelican side, though, Lonzo Ball, don't forget that he exists. He's been he's been pretty good in the in those 2 games that we were talking about. Lonzo's dropped 21 real points and 11 and 17 assists in the other one. So he's been an elite play. He's averaging 40 fantasy points in both of those games. And I mean, I'm hyping up how bad the Pelicans defense is, but one defense that's worse than the Pelicans is the Portland Trailblazers. So it's a good matchup all the way around. It's the tightest spread, highest total. I'm fine with loading up on Lonzo. Zion Williamson's in a good spot, and Brandon Ingram. I kind of want to balance Ingram and Zion appropriately, but I don't know how to. I'm not going to have no overlap, but I definitely want to have more of Lonzo and X and Lonzo and Y, X and Y being Ingram and Zion. And then on the Blazers side, past Damian Lillard, kind of got to watch CJ McCollum. I don't feel like his price is rewarding of his potential minutes. I'm going to say minute limit, but they're definitely watch his minutes. This being the second game back, he got 26 minutes in the first game. So I can't really put him at much more than 28, 30. But even 30 is probably a push. I put him at 28 just to kind of progress it. And I don't feel like the price point is enough for me to gamble on that. Rocco, Cancer, and even Melo, I think, have a couple of cases. But Damian Lillard's easily my favorite Blazer. What do you do with the Pelicans?
Pelicans, give me Lonzo, give me Zion. I think for relatively safe floor. I don't play Ingram whenever Lonzo's playing. I feel like his upside is really limited. All his big games have literally been when Lonzo's out. Lonzo's playing well. Ingram just rarely reaches his upside. So Lonzo, Zion, and Lillard for me.
Any Steven Adams against his old teammate, Enes Kanter?
Nah, I can't get Steven Adams today. Center spot. I mean, if I'm paying down, if I'm not paying up, it's still tough. I might have to try to find another value guy.
Chat, let's get caught up. Juliano Siscon, you're sleeping on Rocco tonight. I'm locking him. Some Robert Covington. I don't mind the thought of him just because of his minutes and the pace of this matchup. By the way, Juliano, how's that? It was like you told me you got the vaccine, right? There was a couple of y'all that told me you got the vaccine. I've heard some people say like the effects of the vaccine, like you feel it. So I'm curious to see how you guys are feeling. By the way, chat, Top Shot in 25 minutes, right? The Top Shot's top of the hour, I think. So I'm not gonna let you guys forget, and don't let me forget. So keep an eye on that. Let me open up a Top Shot in the tab.
Do for a pack. Still search for my first pack.
So you can join the queue. Wait, do you own 3 moments?
I own moments. I bought moments. Yes, I did buy moments, so it's okay because I knew the stuff. I was like, I bought a couple of like cheap moments when I didn't get that pack before. Where like you have to own a moment.
Gotcha.
So I own enough moments.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. So it's a pack drop, 40,000. Yeah. All right. NAW for value.
They dropping 40,000 packs.
I think they're dropping like 36. I think there's like 5K they put in reserve, but they didn't put that in the thing. I'm putting a whole case on all of y'all. Pelican Bay, let's go. Mom got the vaccine, seems fine. You feeling tired, Juliana? That's cool, man. I'm very curious because it's definitely a debate that a lot of people have strongly. All right, main event tonight. Before I do that, take a pause for the cause and remind you guys about our partnership with PrizePicks. If you guys have not checked them out yet, prop betting meets parlays. Seen some really fun screenshots on Twitter last night. A lot of people taking advantage of that Jaylen Brown promotion. I saw some 10K winners on PrizePicks. They're putting some money out there. You can get a 10X parlay. 2 to 5 leg parlays available if you guys want to bet on fantasy points, real points, rebounds, assists, stuff like that. It's a real fun way to diversify your daily DFS spend. And I might just throw some extra money on there tonight because FanDuel's got me stuck out until we figure out this thing. I hope I don't get stuck out for the weekend. And if you guys are curious and you guys have access to the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet, I also have a player props tab that would really help you navigate through some of the better priced projection stuff to take advantage of. So go check them out. Anyone who signs up using code GUNDACKER will have an opportunity to have their initial deposit instantly matched up to $100. So you sign up, you drop $50, they're going to match it. So you'll have $100 to spend. And anyone who signs up using code GUNDACKER will be entered entered into a drawing to win a month pass at RunDFS.com. One of the 10 month passes sponsored by Russ that we're giving away. And every morning I get an email from PrizePicks letting me know who's used the code. So if you guys sign up using code GUNDACKER, you guys could get access to the VIP, which is daily spreadsheets and daily VIP Discord chat. So check that out. If you guys just want to straight up join me without winning anything, go to RunDFS.com. Make yourself an account, check VIP passes. Try a week pass. Anyone from March 1st to the end of this month who gets a VIP pass will also be entered into drawings to win a month pass to be extended on their current subscription. So lots of fun ways. Russ bought 10 month passes for me to give away, Raj, and I'm like so non-creative. I don't know how to do it. So I'm just like, let's do this, let's do this. I guess another Twitter one will be coming soon, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Let me double check. Top Shot. All right, it looks like we're reviving. Hopefully I get tagged in Discord or something. Let's see what you guys got in live chat. Don't feel tired yet or have any symptoms yet. Pain but believe. Okay. All right. Any love for Gallo tonight? I think that would be contingent on Capela being out. I still think Gallo is viable, but my exposure levels would go up exponentially should Capela be out and Gallo draw the start, right? Hey, Gun, what's with the Dapper withdrawal and Top Shot? It seems I can't withdraw. So I guess they process people's accounts staged, like in stages. I will say this. I have withdrew last week $1,000 from Top Shot. It took me like 3 days to get. Like I've literally touched and spent money from Top Shot. So any of you guys that were maybe worried about that, hopefully I can help put that down. And I know probably 3 people personally that have also withdrew, but it is a process to get your account verified and whatever. But like it's understandable. They're processing literally millions of dollars. What's up, Ray? What's your thoughts on what game will be the highest scoring? I think the Pelicans game will be the highest scoring. Just got something to eat and picked up some Gatorade, big jug of water, and just in case I'm hurting later. But then again, I heard from the flu shot. Dang, man. A couple of y'all with the vaccine. All right. Did you see what the CDC put out about how to survive a zombie apocalypse? I watched The Walking Dead once. I'm good. Fred, what's up, Fred? I got the first shot. I didn't feel anything until the next day, and it was just sore for 48 hours. Okay. I appreciate you guys like sharing your experience too, because it's a decision I'll have to make sooner or later, right? I don't really do shots or like I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but like I don't just get my flu shot. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do any of that. So, but if getting this shot will bring us one step closer to normalcy, I'd be game. Hornets and the Lakers main event tonight. Project starting 5 for the Hornets: LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, P.J. Washington, Cody Zeller, taking on Dennis Schroeder, KCP, LeBron James, Markieff Morris, Damian Jones. We got 224.5 total. LaMelo against LeBron, you love to see that. LeBron James is 10-8, 10.7K. Definitely has a case to be the highest scorer on the slate, but he kind of needs to be at this price point. On the Lakers front court, I do like looking at Montrezl Harrell still, 67 to 6,400. We feel like we're getting a little bit of a premium price on him, but I have him at a 28-minute projection. He kind of cleaned up a little bit in garbage time in the fourth quarter last game, but it was like I'm still confident in saying 25-plus minutes is there for him, and it's a really solid matchup. And same with Kyle Kuzma. So I think LeBron, Kuzma, Montrez, and Schroeder kind of make my list. I had a yearning to play some Talen Horton-Tucker, assuming that Alex Caruso was out. But like right as I went live, it was announced that Caruso would be available. So I might step backwards on Horton-Tucker exposure. And just kind of watch from a distance, hope he doesn't break the slate. But I got a lot of guys potentially getting some minutes here for the Lakers. On the Hornets side, LaMelo Ball, 8,200, 8,300. I think we're back down to normal on his price point. We saw that Ricky Rubio was able to thrive in this spot. Is LaMelo Ball going to get slept on? And is this one of those nights where we look back and LaMelo at Staples Center, at LeBron, dropped a 50-point triple-double, just kind of making a statement. We're just like, man, how did we not? Where are you at on this game, and who are your favorite plays?
I mean, I think this game stays close. 4-quarter game. LeBron back-to-back triple-doubles. Let's make it 3 in a row. Give me LeBron James. Give me Montrezl Harrell might be my favorite points per dollar center tonight.
Points per dollar?
Center? Yeah. I mean, at 6'4", at 40. Yeah. At 6'4" at that price. I mean, who's the better center you like? I like him more than Al Horford. Who's that same price? I don't really see any kind of cheap value centers who are.
I'm just.
Okay.
I
like him more than DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, he definitely has the highest ceiling out of like those guys. If you gave him all the same amount of minutes, I want Montrez. I guess I'm still just like it's hard to trust the minutes, or it feels harder to trust the minutes. But yeah, the minutes have been there for him. I'm double checking like the overlap in the fourth quarter the other night. He was up there. He was on the court with LeBron in the fourth, so I guess it's fine to suggest to like 28 minutes seems like a good projection. So I'm with you. He'll likely be my highest owned center, but points per dollar is kind of a rough term. But I would guess 30 to 40 is a floor, and then maybe a 50 plus ceiling in the best case scenario. So okay.
Gotcha. I mean, Charlotte's side came with everyone healthy. I don't know if I really get into any LaMelo today. At 8-3.
See, that's where I think it could get fishy, man. I think, people can be lazy here and kind of back off of LaMelo.
Couple of down games.
I get it. Like, Devontae Graham's back, and the minutes haven't been there for him. But a couple blowouts here. Sacramento should have gone better. Just 25 minutes in that game. I think if we got 30 minutes here, I don't know. I could just see a lot of narrative here. Aren't the balls from the LA area? A little homecoming narrative, a little LeBron narrative. I don't know. I could just see him trying to play up here. And at 8K, there's some meat on the bone for a best case scenario. Gordon Hayward had been playing through a wrist injury. He dropped 50 in that last outing, was part of some of my better lineups on FanDuel. That game against Sacramento, just 26 minutes at Denver. I wasn't really too invested in that game. But in this game, there's still a chip in a chair for over 40 fantasy points if we put the Hornets to be competitive. And I think without Marc Gasol, without Anthony Davis at the house, the Lakers have allowed some teams to stick around. And I think the Hornets could be one of those teams that have been kind of surprising people as of late. So the caveat here is like it's hard to say, all right, I love this Hornet because of this reason. I think LaMelo is there for me, but is Rozier a little bit too cheap? He's never fun to click, but is he a little too cheap for what his potential ceiling is if we put this game to stay competitive? 2 games ago, or back-to-back 37 fantasy point games, that's at the mark of, okay, I'll take 37 at 6'6".
He's the same price as RJ Barrett and Terrence Ross in that mid 6K area.
Yeah, so I mean, RJ Barrett is kind of like the snap call for me there, floor.
Yeah.
But the Terry Rozier thought process is, could he stun some people with that 50 bomb that he drops every now and then in this matchup?
Definitely.
So, the front court for the Lakers, I think Markieff Morris at 3,800 on FanDuel, chipping a chair of that against this Hornets front court. And then, like I said, Kuzma is somebody I don't mind quite a bit. Do you believe this game's competitive?
Yeah. I think Charlotte keeps this game close.
Okay. Chat, what are you guys doing with this one? And what are you doing with LeBron, Raj? Your LeBron exposure versus your Dame exposure. Which one do you have more of?
I think probably gonna have more. I think I might just take a stand and have on LeBron. So I feel like Lillard's gonna come in high roll, and I feel like LeBron could outscore Lillard. If Lillard regresses a little bit from averaging 70 and LeBron gets you a 70, he could triple-double again and get you 60 plus for sure, and a couple extra points, a couple extra rebounds. It could be a 70 bomb for LeBron.
So you say you're gonna have more LeBron?
I think, yeah, not by not double. I probably maybe 20% more LeBron. So maybe 60 LeBron, 40 Lillard type of deal. 40-20, yeah, one of those.
I think I have more Dame than LeBron, and I think I could see myself with 3 times more Dame than LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're close. I think it's just like I get closer to lock into ownership more. If Lillard is 2-3 times the ownership of LeBron, I'll probably go heavier on LeBron.
That's fair. Chat, what are you guys doing with this one? LaMelo grew up looking up to Bron. He's from LA. You hear his daddy's mouth if he doesn't ball out tonight. No, his daddy will blame Michael Jordan. Kind of like that narrative. Yep, my county was given the shots for free at the local convention center. My question is asked as long as you say you have an underlying condition. Oh, I mean, I don't need it. I'm just saying, like, in the interest of public safety, I'd take it. Gun, you really got me hooked on Trez. Trez is the homie, man. They have you sit around for 30 minutes after shot, have the doctors stand by if you don't feel good or something happens. Okay. What's up, John? Supposedly Russell Westbrook's going to sit so far at Bill. So, John, I think...
Don't got any news on that.
I think news initially came out that Westbrook was out, and then I guess Neto was questionable, and then maybe like that put the brakes.
I never even saw Westbrook being out though.
No, several people have said that they saw last night. It was reported and then unreported, but I haven't seen it today. But if he was out, it makes sense to fire up Bill, but also makes sense to maybe project a blowout. So I don't want to. I don't want to be a vehicle for that rumor if it's not substantiated. But 2, like, yeah, maybe that would move the needle on Beal ownership and Beal's floor. Like, he'll definitely have to assume a very, very high level of usage, and then maybe we'd be looking at Rui, but also Neto if he did play, because I think the situation is that they don't have Ish Smith, right? They don't have Ish, and then Neto's questionable, so they don't have a lot of active or a lot of available point guards. So yeah, chip in a chair. I've only heard Gunn use that. What does that mean? It's a poker term. So no matter how much money you have, if you have one chip to grab a hand, and you can sit down in a chair, chip in a chair, right? That's all you need. It's definitely not my saying, but if I'm bringing it back, I'm with that. It's for Gunn's peace of mind, bro. With that, yeah, I don't mind him sharing the Vax experience. I'm very, very fascinated by it. I keep refreshing the Top Shot page. Just want to make sure I'm not missing it. Was it at 4 Central or 5 Central? It was 5 Eastern, right? So 4 Central? I don't know. Chat, right after this, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP voice chat. You guys want to be part of that? We'll be chopping up the slate as we get closer to lock. Probably sweating the pack drop here. If you guys didn't know, Top Shot's doing a $229 pack drop. Should be some fun value in that. If you go to RunDFS.com. Huh?
NFL finalized a deal. This is interesting. Where it's like 110 billion over 11 years for Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime exclusively. So no more TV Thursday night.
I mean,
NFL.
They'd been streaming on Prime anyway, but
yeah, exclusively just on Amazon Prime.
If the game's gonna suck, I can miss out on Jags and Browns. Let's go home. Let's go home. Yo, Mark with the 20. Appreciate that. Gun, who's your top 3 values on DraftKings? As it stands now, I'll go look at the player projections. Let's go home. Appreciate that dono, though. Big Mark, man. Mark's having a time. Mark's, we've been hyping up Russ. Mark got himself a 100K win lately, too. Love to see that. I love to see that, by the way. Go to the player projections tab in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. I'll probably update this again at 5. I got Ntilikina up there just based on minutes and him being bare bones min. Then I got RJ Barrett, Joe Ingles without Mike Conley, Alec Burks without Peyton, without Rose, without Manuel Quickly. He's going to project well. And then also Jordan Clarkson in a fast-paced matchup without Mike Conley. I think Jordan Clarkson, if I had to bet some obscure sub-6K guy to drop 50, I think it's Jordan Clarkson or sub 65. I think him and Montrezl Harrell could be like crazy values if they have their sailing games here. I had Horton Tucker as a high value play. I'll have to reshuffle my minute projections because Alex Caruso got active right before I went live. But I definitely think, like, from a ceiling standpoint and price standpoint, I think Jordan Clarkson, RJ Barrett are the two guys I'd be leaning on in that mid tier. And then Ingles on FanDuel is a little too cheap if you guys are on FanDuel. Brian's beaten Hornets for like 5 years. Thoughts on Rubio, Mitchell, Burks, Pokusevski, Cat, Paul, THT, and Jerome? Jerome would definitely, for me, be contingent on the active or on the status of the Maladons and the Dortz. But if Maladon's out, I definitely think Ty Jerome has a case. And like I said, THT might be impacted by the status of Alex Caruso. I still think there's a case to play THT because I feel like he's earning it. But if you look at his minutes the last two games, 26 to 28, I got to believe that's directly correlated with the concussion of Alex Caruso. Who went down in that Indy game. So since Indy, Horton has played 17, 28, and 26. So I would be a little bit careful on Tucker with Caruso being out of concussion protocol. Right? Randall 61% owned on FanDuel. I could see FanDuel position scarcity power forward doing that. Definitely could. Imagine hearing this podcast and already immediately jump into VIP chat.
Right.
That'd be fun. It'll be fun. Chat, tomorrow we'll be back at it. Big Friday nights slate. How many games are tomorrow? More than likely, we're going to do a 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. So tomorrow we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games with a 30-minute late lock. Kings at the Celtics. Spurs at the Cavs. Nets at the Magic. Jazz at the Raptors. Pacers at the Heat. Pistons at the Rockets. Warriors at the Grizzlies. Maybe without Steph Curry. Hasn't practiced. That could be the Draymond Chalk Fest, man. Like, what? How much is too much for Draymond if Curry's out against the Grizzlies?
That's a fade?
I don't know. Bulls at the Nuggets. T-Wolves at the Suns again. So it's a back-to-back same situation. And then Mavericks at the Blazers. So the fun stretch of games there, and it's all within 2.5 hours. Moses Brown just dropped 50-plus points. What do you think he slept on? Remember, Moses Brown coincided with Al Horford being out, and Horford is in. If Lou Dort is in, I could see Pokusevski getting some power forward run, and then they would have Moses Brown and Isaiah Roby, and is Muscala. I think Muscala was a DNP. But, like, they wouldn't be as strapped on minutes to really, really rely on Moses Brown. I still think, like, the kid, I mean, it was a massive game. You know, maybe they offer him and reward him with some more minutes. But at 4,300, you know, it seems like his stretch of minutes was all correlated with a bunch of people being out, including most notably Al Horford. So, if Horford's in and Lou Dort in, and you got to split minutes in that front court between Brown, Pokusevski, Isaiah Roby, I probably wouldn't be able to put a high level of confidence on that, you know. That's gonna be it, man. Let's get going. It looks like you can join the drop lobby on Top Shot. So if you guys are grinding Top Shot with me, go do that. Otherwise, that's it, man. I'll be back tomorrow. Let's plan for maybe 3:30, 2:30 Central. Yeah, man. I hope you guys all get packs, every single one of you. Otherwise, I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord in just a minute. I love you guys. I appreciate you making part of my day. Be part of your day. Go win all the money tonight. Shoot me them screenshots. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.